And welcome to another edition of DylanLasagna Live. How's everyone doing today? I'm obviously your host, DylanLasagna. And welcome to the show, everyone. Happy Friday. We are in the middle of June. We have reached the midway point of June. And I gotta say, I'm just counting the days for this coronavirus pandemic to be done with, and I don't know how many more days it's gonna take. I'm just trying to find something to do other than going outside, walking around my neighborhood, or I don't know, going going do a workout or like playing video games. I'm just trying to find something else to do other than like being stuck at home. But you know, it's like you've come to a point where you, even for a home buddy like me, like somebody that often likes to stay at home, you kind of do get bored. You do get bored at home. And I've kind of reached that point in the coronavirus pandemic. I have gotten really bored. And I don't know, I just kind of have that itching to go out there now. But, you know, we have to be patient. As I keep saying, we got to be patient. They have reopened a couple of things, like retail, a couple of beaches. I can't remember what else they reopened up. I think churches, I believe they opened up here in California, but I don't recall. But you do have to wear a mask, like literally everywhere you go now, which is a bummer. But, you know, COVID cases are going back up, but you know, it doesn't always lead up to passings, you know. But, you know, you can't take this coronavirus lightly. You can't take it lightly. You never know how or what is going to contract it. And, you know, knock on wood, it's like you never know what's coming. But, you know, let's hope and pray that they'll find a vaccine for it soon. But that'll be quite a while till they do. But anyway, enough of the coronavirus, because we're going to be talking about that a lot on this show in relation to our big topic, the WWE. So, man, we have a lot to talk about when it comes to the WWE. Let's see. We recommend you use a stream bitrate of 4,500. Let me try that. Because I was dropping like in flies. Let me try using that. Yeah, it dropped in flies. Freaking YouTube wrecking me like bad advice. Anyway, welcome to the show. Welcome to the podcast. I am your host, DylanLasagna. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. All that jazz. And I have a couple announcements before we get into this week's random tidbits. We finally brought back the random tidbits this week, because we got a couple of them. So I mentioned this in a community post that we're not going to be doing WWE watch-alongs anymore on the channel. Even like maybe even watch-alongs in general. There's still going to be like reactions to like Nintendo Directs and all that stuff, but we're not going to be doing like, you know, like you see this layout right here, and then there's usually audio in the background. We're not going to be doing that anymore because I got hit with another copyright claim, and now the WrestleMania 22 one in particular is now blocked worldwide, and you can't watch it anymore. And I just don't want to, like, I know, like, now know where it got hit, and I just don't feel like, going through like appealing it at this point, because it's like I feel like it's too substantial of copyrighted material that I'm just gonna get given a copyright strike. And yeah, it's my fault. I'll admit it's my fault. I made a mistake of jacking up the audio too high during that stream, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of people get away with it too. I mean, it's kind of dumb, but it is what it is. A lot of people's watch-alongs are allowed to stay up on YouTube when mine keep getting taken down. It's dumb, but it is what it is. So we're not going to be doing WWE watch-alongs anymore. Stupid phone. This stupid 800 service keeps calling. But anyway, we're not going to be doing watch-alongs anymore here on the channel because WWE just likes to take down my content. Likes to take down my watch-alongs, even though they are fair use. Even though I turned down the audio as much as possible, but somehow, some way, WWE just keeps catching it. And it's either that or the YouTube bot system. I don't know which one it is, but regardless, we're not doing them anymore because I am just not dealing with the freaking copyright bots. Whether it's WWE or YouTube. So sorry for those of you that did like the watch-alongs, but I'm just not doing it. I'm done doing it. At least until I can figure out a proper solution. All right, so there also is going to be a live stream for this Monday at 7 o'clock in the morning. Yes, 7 o'clock. I'm waking my early ass up to watch the Arms Fighter reveal for Smash. We'll get more into that later, but just anticipate the watch page for that stream to be up over the weekend. So make sure you stay tuned to that. And again, I want to be made aware that the 10th anniversary of this channel is coming up. I'm trying to figure out what exactly I want to do for all of you, like how to commemorate it. I don't know. I feel like the 10th anniversary doesn't feel as special as I want it to be for some reason, but nonetheless, I still want to try to commemorate the 10th anniversary of this channel as much as I can. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do like a video. I might do a video series like talking about like each era of the channel, because there were different like parts of the channel I went through. There was like the OG Dilster 501 era, then there's the like weird phase I was a brony, then there was the initial DylanLasagna phase, and then the reaction phase, and then the rest is just general DylanLasagna content after that. So maybe I might do a video series explaining some tidbits on the production process of my channel. But it's been so long since I've done I remember what exactly led to me making those videos. I might not remember everything, so we'll see. We'll see what I want to do with the 10th anniversary to commemorate the 10th anniversary. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, now let's get into some random tidbits for today. So our first one is that Apex Legends Battle Royale from EA is coming to the Switch. It's about damn time. So in the latest EA Play presentation, EA confirmed that not only was crossplay coming to the Battle Royale game, it was also revealed that the game is finally coming to the Nintendo Switch. It was the Michael Higham, the director for Apex, noted that the game is running very well on the Switch and is now in the testing phase. Higham added the following: "It's a big challenge. We've been working on it for a while. It's not without its challenges, but I'll say it's looking really good and running very well. Obviously, it's a different platform, and we have to make some changes to the game to get it running on Switch. It's got motion controls, so we're supporting that. So that takes some time to support the gyro aim functionality. It's a lot of work, but it's also coming along nicely. We're testing at this point, making sure that it's good to go. It's worth it. We're huge fans of Nintendo, so I'm personally really excited to bring a game to Switch, and I can take it on the go and play where or when I'm with my kids or whatever." And then it was also revealed during EA Play that 7 EA games were going to be released for the Switch throughout the next year. Again, it's about time that Apex Legends finally came to the Switch. People were clamoring for this battle royale game to be on Switch. You already had Fortnite, you already had Overwatch, you already had Paladins. The only thing you were missing was Apex Legends, and then obviously you have Call of Duty Warzone. At this point, Activision should put Warzone on the Switch because it's like the more talked about battle royale game than Fortnite and Apex. But I mean, Apex is finally there. That's cool, I guess. And then now for the other piece of news that 7 EA games are coming to the Switch. I can't fully support this piece of news yet because it's EA. It's like they want your monies. They want your microtransaction money. We don't know if they're gonna do something like a downscaled version of FIFA, like it's a legacy edition, like what they're doing again with FIFA 21, where it's just like, well, it's the same game but with roster updates and nothing more. Or they're gonna actually do they're actually gonna commit to the Switch and release actual games like Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, or like a complete Madden game, or Mass Effect or whatever. But I mean, at least EA is finally seeing the potential of the Switch. So we'll see. Now we get to some more interesting tidbits here. Crash 4. I thought we had the Wrath of Cortex. I thought that was Crash 4, but now apparently the Wrath of Cortex is non-canon now. So Jamatsu pointed out on Twitter late Thursday night that, let me pull it up here on my screen. Jamatsu pointed out on Thursday that the Taiwanese Digital Gaming Rating Committee that this leaked. It's a brand new Crash Bandicoot game titled It's About Time, and it's for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And this is what the cover looks like. Let me zoom in. It looks kind of blurry, but whatever. So, just from the initial cover here, we got a brand new design for Crash and the brand new design for Coco. More of my thoughts about that a little later. And then they also got some new masks, and then we know it's gonna be developed by Toys for Bob, the same developers that did the Reignited trilogy. And then we also got a couple more details regarding this. It includes a description for the game. Crash is relaxing and exploring on his island in his time, 1998, when he finds a mysterious mask hidden away in his cave. Lani Loli. The mask is one of the quantum masks and apparently knows Aku Aku, Crash's mask friend. With the quantum mask returning and a quantum rift appearing near our heroes, they decide to bravely head through to different times and dimensions to stop whatever is responsible. Now, people were kind of getting clues of a new Crash game when they were getting like puzzle pieces, like a 200 puzzle piece of this one of these masks in the mail. And now let me give my thoughts on this. We don't know the full extent of the game yet. We're gonna probably know more about it on Monday, as Toys for Bob tweeted out. But the biggest thing to know is that the new character designs, they're using the character designs for Crash and Coco from the Crash mobile game. The Crash design doesn't bother me too much. It's like, I don't feel like nothing has changed that drastically, but I don't know. I don't feel into Coco's design. It doesn't give me that same vibe from the Insane trilogy. It doesn't carry over well. But that's just me. And then another thing is, there's no Switch version yet. Maybe there won't be one because maybe maybe this is going to be a more demanding like Crash title, because this is going to be on Xbox Series X, as it said in the little Xbox side of the cover. But if it's not going to be announced alongside the other consoles, maybe it could get a Switch release in the same time frame as the Insane Trilogy and the Spyro Reignited Trilogy did. So maybe like a year after the game comes out. We don't know when it will, but let's say it comes out in this It's About Time game. It comes out, let's say, in 2021. Then the Switch version comes out in 2022. Yeah, it sucks, but that's how the cycle is, because they gotta figure out how to port it. They gotta find a porting studio, and that's if they're gonna have it ported to the Switch, because you don't know if it's gonna be more graphically and performically enhanced than the Insane Trilogy and Reignited were, but we'll see. We're gonna learn more on Monday. Now, our next and final random tidbit for today is the ARMS character. If you are unfamiliar, the ARMS character is going to be revealed on Monday. Why are random ass people calling my house? It's that same 800 service. I don't want your product, mate. Anyway, there is the possibility we are going to learn of the new Crash game, but we are also officially going to learn of which character from ARMS, that stretchy fighty game from Nintendo, is going to represent Smash Bros. In case you don't remember, in a Nintendo Direct Mini, that they announced ARMS was going to be the next representative in the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC pack. It was going to be the opener for the Fighter Pass 2. And then let me show you guys the tweet that it's represented, this announcement. So here's the tweet. Join Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Director Masahiro Sakurai on June 22nd at 7 a.m. my time for roughly a 35-minute video live stream featuring an in-depth look at the upcoming DLC fighter from ARMS. So that is that. And then Nintendo also explicitly stated that no new fighters will be revealed during this live stream. So we should all know how this goes at this point when it comes to these fighter specific live streams. Sakurai is going to reveal the fighter, then he's going to explain a little bit about the series. Then he's going to go into very big detail about the moves, and then he's going to go into other miscellaneous thing like classic mode, and then maybe some Mii costumes. I think he did Mii costumes in the Byleth presentation, I think. But remind me of that in the comments. If they are going to do Mii costumes, there is one concerning thing I have, and it's the possibility of Crash Bandicoot being a Mii costume. Just because it kind of coincides of the possibility of the Crash 4 game being announced, if it does happen. But every time there's a Mii costume thing happening in Smash, with these fighter reveals, then I'm still very concerned that Crash Bandicoot could be relegated to a Mii costume. And Crash is way too big of a video game icon just for that. It's it's Crash Bandicoot. He's literally one of the big PlayStation icons and one of the big retro video gaming icons out there. But anyway, as for the ARMS character, there's still many unanswered questions going into this. It's which character are they gonna go with? Are they gonna go with a fan favorite like Min Min or Twintel? Are they gonna go with an unorthodox character, a more unknown like Helix? Or it's that one big emo character that looks like Tracer from Overwatch, but it's in like a sumo suit. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. But that's just what it reminds me of. Or the Mummy guy. Or is Sakurai just gonna literally break all the fan rules, throw them out the window, and shove them straight up your you know what, and make them Spring Man and Ribbon Girl as the 1-2 punch, like Byleth and the Inklings, and who else? The Koopalings. I don't know. We'll see. I think the safe bet is Spring Man and Ribbon Girl, but it could also be Min Min or Twin Tail, because it's like those are the easy guesses, but at the same time it's the more predictable ones as well. But we'll see on Monday. Come Monday morning, I will be live streaming that. Just look out for the watch page for that over the weekend. I will be putting that up very soon. Now, for the main story, for the main thing that I wanted to talk about on this podcast today. WWE just can't seem to figure out that it's not a fantasy land. This is like with COVID-19. This, I said it at the beginning of the show. As much as the media is overblowing this thing, as much as the COVID cases are starting to go up, and that they don't the large number of COVID cases don't correlate to deaths. This COVID thing, this COVID-19, the coronavirus, is pretty serious. It's goddamn serious. And if you still think I'm like, oh no, you're just being a pussy, then I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. And to hear that another developmental talent tested positive for COVID-19, and WWE, the details of what WWE didn't do, it's pretty shameful. It's pretty shameful. But let's get into it. So news broke Monday evening, like near the end of Raw, from Ryan Satin of Pro Wrestling Sheet, and he's also a correspondent for WWE Backstage. WWE has another positive coronavirus test. This is the second one in 2 months. So the first one happened in April. April, I believe. So Satin tweeted near the end of Raw on Monday night that a developmental talent who was last on site at the Performance Center on June 9th tested positive for COVID-19. Satin also provided a full statement from WWE's Associate Medical Director, Dr. Jeffrey Douglas. And let me pull that up right now. And he said the following: a developmental talent who was last on site at A developmental talent who was last on site at WWE's training facility on Tuesday, June 9th, had tested positive for COVID-19. Since that time, no other individuals that attended the facility had reported symptoms. However, out of abundance of caution and to assure the health and safety of the company's performers and staff, all talent, production crew, and employees on site at the training and production facilities will be tested for COVID immediately. Following the test results, WWE plans to proceed with its normal TV production schedule. And with that, they tested people for COVID-19, and let's just say it was a disaster. And then before we get into that, Satin claimed that it was a PC trainee and not an NXT talent, but later reports suggested otherwise. So Ryan Satin, Sean Ross Sapp, John Pollock, and other wrestling reporters noted that all talent, production crew, and employees who were on site that day would be tested on Tuesday. We talked about that. But it would also cancel the Raw and SmackDown tapings that were supposed to take place that day. So the Raw for next week and the SmackDown for next Friday. So Sean Ross Sapp tweeted that he spoke with some of the talent who found out about the COVID-19 test when the rest of the world did. So they were pretty pissed. That's what Sean Ross Sapp said. And then WWE's first positive COVID test was in April, and talent knew through an internal relations talent app. And then this time, again, the talent knew when it became public. Ross Sapp also tweeted early on Tuesday that testing began early that day, around 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. my time, and ended around 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. my time. Those that were waiting to be tested were told to return around 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Ross Sapp also mentioned on a live stream for Fightful that WWE was only doing temperature checks, so they weren't doing like actual COVID testing. They were doing just like fever checks. They were just checking your temperature. So this is the talent's first time getting an actual COVID test. And I did a little bit of research and found out that AEW actually does both a rapid temperature check and a COVID test before they let anyone in Daly's Palace. WWE. They literally wait until this stuff gets public for them to act. Ross Sapp also mentioned that in a media call with Triple H, Triple H said that WWE doesn't do the rapid COVID test because it's sometimes inaccurate. Triple H specifically said this when it comes to not doing the COVID-19 testing. We have medical experts on our team who work with the CDC and the government to determine what is the best approach to take to ensure the safety and wellness of our performers. That is working with the local and federal government. When you begin to talk about various types of testing, the accuracy of those tests become questionable. So we need to do what we're being told to do by the medical experts. Once that widespread testing that is accurate becomes available, we will do so. But the accuracy of those tests has to be there first. In the meantime, our medical protocols are extensive, and most importantly, they've worked. Temperature checks worked, huh? I wonder how well they're doing. I wonder how well they did up to this point when you have to do COVID testing now. Anyway, back to this. Back to all this big pile of crap. On the day of the testing situation, Mike Johnson, a Pro Wrestling Insider, described the testing situation as disorganized, but that's a debatable discussion. I don't want to bring that up. Then Jeremy Lambert of Fightful reported on Tuesday that WWE allowed some extra personnel into the building, which were friends on the roster. It kind of, that kind of was odd to me as well, because I saw a couple more people than normal when I was watching Raw on Monday, and there were a couple of chairs when everyone else was standing. So now we kind of know the reason why. So Joe Alba of Spectrum Sports in Orlando and Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer reported that there were a very small amount of legitimate fans that were in the Performance Center at Monday's taping. How exactly were they in the Performance Center? Well, there are some conflicting reports about that. I'm trying to find here how they were tested. Well, actually, let me finish reading this first. Louis Dango of Wrestle Talk reported that WWE talent were unaware of the non-roster members would be allowed in the Performance Center that day, and Mike Johnson, a Pro Wrestling Insider, mentioned that a few WWE employees were unhappy with outsiders being let in, that no one from the company communicated about the fact that until after they were already let inside the venue, they felt it was unfair. They could have exposed someone inadvertently to COVID-19. Now, it was noted here that... Hold on, I'm trying to... Oh, yeah, here it is. Wrestling Inc. reported that fans had to sign waivers at the show, stating that WWE is not liable if they came down with COVID-19 and that there could be inherent risk attending the taping. They also noted that fans had their temperature taken and had to fill out a questionnaire. Brian Alvarez also mentioned, which also brings me to my next point, about WWE not allowing to wear masks in the crowd. And this is kind of all over the place, so we're gonna try to dissect it as best as possible. Brian Alvarez first reported the notion, so he talked about this. Brian Alvarez noted that people were reportedly angry about how people are reportedly angry about how there were fans prevented from wearing masks on Monday, or at least encouraged not to wear one. Alvarez claims the opposite of Albas' report, Joe Albas' report, that multiple people have told them that they were not allowed to wear masks as the company didn't want masks on TV. Alvarez also reported that Kevin Dunn allegedly said that you're not a fan if you're wearing a mask, indicating that people in masks wouldn't be allowed to serve as fans in the crowd. It was previously reported by Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio that fans were told to go home if they wanted to wear a mask. It was also reported that people were upset. I already said that. And Brian Alvarez also noted that Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn feel that the sight of masks in a crowd is a bad visual for tapings and doesn't help the viewers escape from reality. WWE sent in a memo in April telling talent to wear masks at the PC, but the mask must be removed when the cameras were rolling. And then there's a very lengthy Twitter post by John Alba regarding this statement, regarding this matter. I'm going to first read the WWE statement, because it's kind of interesting. Fans have not been in attendance at WWE events since March 13th. Yesterday, a select number of friends and families were permitted to attend WWE's TV productions. These individuals were required to participate in medical screenings prior to entering the closed set at our training facility and were kept apart from our in-ring performers and production personnel. Attendance was below 20% capacity and social distancing guidelines were adhered to within at least 6 feet between parties, thus face masks were not required. The Street Profits literally went into the so-called crowd and danced with everyone. How is that social distancing? It doesn't make... They're being freaking hypocrites. So, let's go into this long post by John Alba. Multiple fans in attendance at Monday's tapings tell me they were not told they couldn't wear masks. Several reports in the last 24 hours had indicated they were told they couldn't wear them. We already read the statement. The fans I spoke to told me they never felt pressured by WWE not to wear a mask for TV purposes or any other reason. They confirmed temperature checks and signed waivers as well. One noted that they were in a group that had masks on them, chose not to wear them when taping started. Those I spoke to didn't find out about the positive COVID test by WWE Developmental until after the tapings. While personnel were tested yesterday, the fans were not informed they had to get tested. Those I spoke to were invited back for more tapings next week. Oh my god. It was also noted to me that there were sanitizing stations on site. Okay. And the sources I spoke to told me that they felt safe at the tapings and would attend again even after the news of the positive COVID-19 test. They weren't tested for coronavirus, though, just temperature checks. While the WWE statement says fans were kept apart from performers, there were multiple times performers who went into the crowd during... Yeah, they're pretty much reiterating the notion I said. The Street Profits were in the crowd, not maintaining social distancing. For those asking, I do not know how the mask situation applies to talent. I can only speak to those who were in attendance as fans, all of who unanimously say they were never told they couldn't wear one if they wanted to, and no one felt pressure not to wear one. Many are asking about the substance of waivers, and he can't comment on that, and that's pretty much the end of it. And that's pretty much the end of John Albas' long Twitter thread. Hold on one second. He saw it. Okay, and then because they had to do COVID testing, WWE had to reconfigure its taping schedule. So, according to Mike Johnson, a Pro Wrestling Insider, they had to put all their taping that was scheduled for Tuesday and jam pack it into Wednesday. They had to cram it in there, literally. So, the WWE taping on Wednesday that we got was supposed to be NXT, was just NXT, but then we ended up getting Raw, everything Raw, main event, 205 Live, and SmackDown was axed. And why was it axed? Because people were waiting for their COVID results to get back, and no one was let in the building until they were cleared to do so. And this is all according to Mike Johnson, a Pro Wrestling Insider. And the tapings were literally 40 minutes behind. So it was literally a clusterfuck. Yeah, what this 800 service? Goddamn. So again, because they were behind, WWE had to cancel the June 26th taping for SmackDown and pushed it to the afternoon of that day. So it'll be close to airtime when they're taping it. So again, the Wednesday slate consisted of this Monday's Raw and its Raw Talk, main event, 2 episodes of 205 Live at the Performance Center, and then they did a live edition of NXT on Wednesday night and then taped the next week's show after. Mike Johnson also noted that there were friends and family at these slates of tapings. And then after that, there were no other updates until today, when Dave Meltzer provided this one. The performer who tested positive was a female wrestler in NXT who hasn't been used on television. She has been one of the fans of the crowd and was last used in that role on June 9th. And then, in light of the conflicting stories about WWE's mask problem, Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings announced Thursday that he's going to sign an executive order that will require every person in the county to wear masks. Yeah, that was a lot. A lot to pack in. That was, like, seriously a lot. So, whether or not, I'm going to first address the mask part. Whether or not WWE doesn't want to have masks on their television show, they won't have a choice. They're not going to have a choice going forward, because it's a legal order. Whether you're essential, whether you're essential or not, you're literally going to have to wear a mask on television. I mean, hold on, what? I don't understand this mentality here. I don't understand how wearing a mask like that should protect you from COVID presents a bad image. Because let's say a news reporter is wearing a mask outside. Do you think that presents a bad image on TV? Tell me that, Vince. Tell me that. Anyway, I find this whole situation, like, with the latest positive COVID test, it's a mess. It's infuriating. Again, this exposed, like, as much as Vince has done for the wrestling business, like, he's like expanded the wrestling business for good and bad. It just shows how selfish he is. And he's really putting his wrestlers and his workers in an unsafe working environment. Just because he wants to please the networks, or try to jack up the ratings and get some extra monies. However much money he can get during these times. It's frustrating. It's frustrating because he's just putting everyone at risk now because he didn't do actual COVID testing. And I don't want to make this a WWE versus AEW kind of thing, but AEW is actually doing a much better job at protecting their wrestlers than WWE is. Because, again, AEW is making everyone, literally everyone, go through both a temperature check and a COVID test. And if they don't pass any of those, you can't go into Daly's Palace. You're not getting in there to perform. So, I don't understand why Vince thinks that COVID is not a thing. As if it doesn't exist. I don't understand, man. It's like WWE is really handling this situation irresponsibly. And if they keep brushing it off, if they really keep brushing this off, and they just casually go back to the temperature checks, I feel like at some point in time, it doesn't matter if Vince is butt buddies with Donald Trump. Like, they're going to get shut down. Like, I mean, not like permanently, because I don't want that to happen, but for the health and safety of the performers, like the CDC and the World Health Organization might as well just, inevitably shut down the WWE, because they wouldn't follow protocol. They wouldn't follow the COVID protocol. They've already had 2 positive COVID tests. I mean, that's like not a substantial number. I mean, and then the first one was already back to work in a couple weeks after, and who knows what will happen to this one. Prayers up that it doesn't lead to anything bad. But they need to test people. They need to do actual testing and not just, let's just check your temperature. They need to do better. WWE needs to do better and stop thinking about. Vince needs to stop thinking about himself for goddamn once. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Anyway, everyone, that's all I got for you today. Let me know what you guys thought about. Let me know what you guys thought about this large chunk of a topic that is WWE ignoring again the COVID-19 with this positive COVID test from a developmental talent, and the other random tidbits. The ARMS character being revealed on Monday, Crash 4 leaked, and then we got Apex Legends coming to Switch in the fall. Let me know about that in the comments below. But anyway, everyone, that's all I got for you today on this episode of Dylan Lasagna Live. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz, and be safe out there. Be safe out there. Be healthy, and always wash your hands. Always wash your hands. All right, everyone. I'll be putting up the watch page for the ARMS presentation reaction over the weekend. But other than that, always be delicious, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everyone.